This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So in today's ASMR video on this map channel, geography based ASMR channel, I've done some drawing videos in the past. I've done the Netherlands. Where else have I done? Texas I did once. So I'm going to do Australia today. I want to learn more, so I'm going to not only draw Australia, I'm going to label its major cities, and also I'm going to do its territories as well. There was a question that came up in a recent video where you had to name or say how many territories there were, and I didn't have a clue. Being from Wales, being Welsh, I cheered with New South Wales, and that's about it. Oh, and Tasmania, which I knew was an island, but I didn't realise was a territory of its own. Because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so the Tasmanian Devil was like my favourite cartoon. I had the video games on my Mega Drive. Yeah, I'm really old. Okay, so that's the bottom part near Perth. So I'm just going to make sure it does come out somewhat wonky shape, I'm going to just do the borders. So I'm going to do the south. So it sort of goes up a bit there, and then down a bit again to Port Lincoln. Then there's a messy bit around Adelaide, and then Melbourne is down there. So that's the sort of tip there. I want to make enough space for Tasmania, like there to there. It's going to be like a sort of U shape on the Bass Strait. And then we're going to go up, and many of the major cities are here, so Canberra, Sydney, then Brisbane. So like Brisbane's going to be there-ish. So over here in Western Australia, gotta make sure we go past Perth. So like, is it what's it called? Denham, that area there. More or less. Okay, and then we're gonna go up Exmouth. And we're going to dip in there, I think. We'll dip in here before Broome and Derby. And Darwin is going to be here at the top. And if we go this way, I'm going to go up Mackay, Townsville, Cairns. And then I'm going to do the tip that goes up, which is not far away, not much higher than Darwin. And then it comes back down and it does the bay, the Gulf of Carpentaria, and then it comes back in. Okay, got it. Just make sure I don't have like a square or something. The only thing about drawing islands is that you always have the coastline, which is kind of like kill or cure. You don't have many straight lines, unfortunately. You don't have to worry about borders, and it does look like the country. I'm not used to seeing many countries without the countries next to them, if you know what I mean, but Australia doesn't have that problem. So we are in like Denham at the moment here. Is it Carnarvon? Oh yeah, it's a weird spelling, but I think it's named after Carnarvon in Wales. Carnarvon. It's there. Then Exmouth from England is there. Onslow, let me just check. I said this was like Derby-ish. Okay, that's good. It's going well. Onslow. Port Hedland. How does that look? Goes in. What's that place? Kununura. It's not far. It's not on the coast though. That's Western Australia. And then we're in Northern Territory. Let's make sure. So where did I say Darwin was? So like there is the tip with Bamaga's there. I think I've already gone over my point, you know. Because if Bamaga's there and I go down into the bay, I can just about squeeze it in, I think. Okay. Let's bring this back and save it. There's the bit there. I'm going to do it this way actually. Bamaga. Weibo. It's a big dip. Then it goes back up. Baralua, I think, is there. And then in the Gulf of Carpentaria. Little island there by Darwin, which is here. Doesn't look brilliant, but okay, whatever. Gotta get the width of this. Is the striking point of Australia, really. Where's that? Cooktown? No, Cooktown. Cairns is there. And then I gotta leave enough room for it to sort of go out as well as down. So Townsville, Mackay, Rockhampton, Gladstone. I just check my bearings, so I said that was like, oh, I should have been on Brisbane already. I'm not far away though. I think. Oh, yes, okay. It's like an island bit there. And then there's Brisbane. We're on Gold Coast now. Coming down. We're gonna be, so we need to get so Canberra's gonna be a bit there. Sydney's there. So Coffs Harbour, Port, Macquarie. I'm probably butchering these names, I apologise. Okay. Alright, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to go. So we've gone. We're now. A little island there. Melbourne is like here-ish. Okay, this isn't looking horrific. It's a bit squashed, but it's not horrific. Let's go back over this side. So Albany is like there. Then we go up a little bit, and you've got Jerramungup, apparently. And then carry on going, you've got Esperance, Madura, and then we're into South Australia. And we start to go down again. Seduna, I think, is Streaky Bay. Yes, and Elliston. So they're there. So make sure I do this bit right. I'm going to squeeze it in, so Mount Gambier. Now we're going up Adelaide. Squeak bit there. Sort of boot. I think I'm going to have to use the rubber in a second to give me some space. And then it goes back down. Okay, so I'm just going to. The thing is, I don't have a decent rubber on these things. like a miniature India. Sticks out a bit. Port Lincoln at the bottom. So it goes down. You've got the boot there. You've got a massive island there. Maybe like one or two more islands there. And then it goes down, and it sort of goes that way really. I'm not a professional artist or anything. So, not that you were thinking I was or anything. Okay, that'll do. And let's not forget Tasmania, so that's the little island off the coast where Melbourne is. Melbourne, Geelong maybe. Geelong. So there's there. And then we got the Bass Strait, you got two little islands there. One there. And then you've got I think my cousin lives in Tasmania, actually. Hobart is like there. She might live in Hobart, actually. I've never met her. My mum, my mum speaks her on Facebook all the time. Asks her to go and visit. My grandparents were supposed to move to Australia when it was like £1. So the UK government were like, move to Australia as £1. And my grandfather was like, he had a trade. He, I can't remember what it was, a joiner, I think. And so they nearly went, and my mum would have been born in Australia. But at the last minute they decided not to go. And then my mum obviously was born in Wales. But yeah, I was nearly, well, either never conceived at all, or I would have been half my mum and in Australia. But I bet loads of that generation have got that story because it was extremely popular to move to Australia at that time. Okay, so thank goodness the territories do have very normal straight lines, particularly over this side of the country, so after this bit breaks here, now I can't do a straight line at this angle, so it's going to be a mess, but I apologise. Actually, it's not going to be a straight line at all because that is South Australia, like sort of goes there, so it's going to be a bit weird. Apologies. Let's call it the curvature of the Earth, yeah. It's nuts to think that this territory is like half of Europe. It's like, oh yeah, you can just fit Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Poland all into it. So massive. I cannot get my head around it. I nearly went to Australia about 6-7 years ago. I went to New Zealand. And, you know, us Europeans were all like, oh yeah, you know, just nip over to France for the weekend or whatever. So we were in New Zealand and I was like, oh, we're there for a fortnight, let's just pop over to Sydney, because it's that side of the country, isn't it? Pop over to Sydney. It's like it's a 6-hour flight. I was like, what? And then someone pointed out to me that it's something obscene, like from this end of the country to this end, is it like, I'm going to just say a number and you can correct me in the comments, is it another 6 hours then across? So it's like 6 hours there. So if I wanted to go from, say, Auckland to Perth, it'd be a 12-hour flight. It's nuts. Okay, so this is Western Australia. Australia, yes, decided to just go, no, this bit's New South Wales, and that bit is Queensland, and that bit is New South Wales. Okay, and then down the bottom we got sort of almost at the point. Mine's too pointy, I think, but anyway. So it will go to about here, I think. So it sort of goes down. Maybe not that far, but okay. So this is New South Wales, this is Victoria. You need to leave room for Melbourne in the middle there, so let's do it here. Victoria. And we're going to label Tasmania. Tasmania. So I need to leave room for Sydney and Canberra. New South Wales. And of course I am from South Wales, I'm from Swansea. Okay. The northern part here is Queensland. It's pretty... no cities in the middle here. And then the Northern Territory. Northern Territory. Northern Territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so cities. That is Melbourne. So we're going to say Canberra is like here. Canberra. My mum's been to Sydney. Sydney. It's my dream to see the Sydney Opera House. Brisbane. Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast. Darwin. Named, I believe, after Charles Darwin, who stumbled upon Australia. But I think, was it after the Dutch? Did we buy it off the Dutch? And then send all the prisoners there? And then Perth. I love the Aussie accent, actually. I don't know why I was thinking of that in my head, but I was just thinking that I just love the Aussie accent. And Adelaide is there. My best friend's school friend has moved out there permanently. She's not come back. Adelaide. She met an Aussie in the UK and then they got married and had kids and moved out to Australia. No. Hobart, sorry. Not Holbert. Hobart. Get it right eventually. Hobart. Tasmania's like really different weather, isn't it? It's like quite cold, I think. And I guess Melbourne can be a bit cold in the winter time, which is weirdly our summertime. But I think Brisbane is probably the nicest weather, or Darwin. Darwin's like tropical, isn't it? It's up by Papua New Guinea, which is rainforest territory. I think there are rainforests up here, aren't there? Okay, so let's colour it in then. Blue and yellow, I think, would be appropriate. So well done to you guys for your performance in the, if any of you are watching are actually from Australia, for your performance in the World Cup. I enjoyed watching you. You guys are awesome. I thought you were going to get a result against Argentina. And I love a political rant, so are you still going to keep the king as your head of state? And if so, what would your flag look like? You'd have to get rid of the British bit, wouldn't you? Just have all those lovely stars. What constellation are the stars representing, by the way? I never remember that. The difference that I can tell between the New Zealand and Australia is New Zealand's stars are in red and yours are in white, aren't they? But what is it? Is it like Orion, or is it something? Tell me some random facts about Australia in the comment section. Maybe I'll do a video, a fact video on Australia soon, if this video does well. I've started to get quite a few subscribers. You can get YouTube to tell you where all your subscribers come from, and the US, UK, Russia, Germany, and Italy are my top. But then Australia is like 6th highest, I think. So, I'm here for you guys. If you want me to do more Australia-based content, then I'm up for it. The only thing about doing blue, I'm not going to like colour in the sea, obviously, but it does. I just looked at it from the camera angle there, and it does like make it look like that's Australia and this is the sea. No, it doesn't really. I think it's okay. Maybe I'll do a second coat in yellow. I always find it really crazy how like amazing Australians are at sport, just in general sport, like the Olympics, football, rugby. I'm obviously Welsh, so I love rugby. You guys are very good at rugby, swimming. I don't get like your budget, your budget for sports must be enormous. Like other people dedicate loads of money to the military, like the US have loads of military. I bet Australia's like 50% on sports. I was doing a video the other day about like the Olympics. I think it was on my Italian channel. Because Italy are like sort of, they did really well in the last Olympics if I remember correctly. They've got some good swimmers now as well. And I was saying on that channel the other day that I was like, oh, you know, it's really amazing that I mean, Italy's not a small country for population. It's actually got like 60, 70 million people. But compared to, you know, who it's competing against, and the same can be said for you guys. I know geographically you're a large country, but relatively small population compared to the countries in the Olympics that you compete against, like USA, China, Russia. It's incredible that you're consistently on the top 5. It's nuts when you think about it. Of course, growing up in Britain, everything that we know about Australia is based on Neighbours and Home and Away, which I was disgusted to learn that you guys just don't watch. It's like a national treasure. I watched the last episode of Neighbours and bawled my eyes out. It's like, I can't believe it's over. Of course, you know, and one of the reasons that I did stop, because I stopped watching it for 20 years, but still, it's not the point, it's your fault. You made me cry. is Mrs. Kennedy going to do now? As a real acting role? Maybe she'll go to Hollywood and she'll be like Judi Dench and get an Oscar. She deserves one. But you probably don't know who I'm talking about because you never watch it. You totally have nailed Christmas as well. I'm very jealous. Christmas in this country is like super miserable. It's the worst weather. It's raining, it's cold, it's dark. You guys are like on the beach or having a barbecue. I would swap that. I got some friends who, they're a married couple, and the brother, one of the husband's brother lives in Australia. So they went out there for Christmas, and it was all over Instagram, them having a barbecue, being on the beach, in a beach party in the evening. And I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. And he's based in, like, Darwin, I think. So yeah, really nice weather. All year round, more or less, I think, isn't it? Too hot for me, though, because I'm a little Welshman. Pale skin Welshman. Okay. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And I hope I did your lovely country justice. Oh look, I missed one. Sorry, South Australia. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Click like if you enjoyed it and drop me a comment. And I will see you really soon. Don't forget to give me lots of ideas about content for Australia.